everybody. Welcome to day 3 of Instant Camp Report here. I'm Brian Nemhauser, Hawk Blogger on Instagram and on Twitter. And today, the news of the day really was the defense caught up a little bit today. A lot more pressure applied by the defense, a lot more incompletions on offense, a lot more problems for the offense to try to solve. So a really improved day, both coverage-wise and pressure-wise. It seemed like the defense was bringing more pressure, bringing more complicated pressures. And there were times that Gino was holding the ball, which you hadn't seen for the first 2 days. There were times that it would have been a sack. Weren't seeing those the first 2 days. So I think Mike McDonald, as I said, I don't think he likes it when the offense gets too far ahead of the defense. And I think that they brought it today, and it showed. And it's a good progression. You want to see that from your team. You want to see both sides pushing the other to improve. And, you know, Geno Smith in his press conference that he just finished talked about it. He talked about that they are prepping every day and having to come up with answers for the defense. They're getting guys that are starting there in the box and then diving back into deep responsibilities. He's having to read all that, make the best decisions he can. And it showed today. So, like, good news, because, you know, you do not want, even though it seems like you might want, you do not want one side of the ball to dominate training camp. You want it to be a back and forth. You want it to kind of see both sides do it. Some names of players that I thought today stood out. Byron Murphy. I'll call out our first round pick. First day for me that he kind of popped, and we saw with him a couple, 3, maybe 4 pretty quick pressures. He seemed pretty physical. It was good to see him out there getting into the backfield. Also, Boye Mafe had a decent day. Uchenna Nwosu had a really nice day. He had a couple what would have been sacks or tackles for loss. Coverage today was just good. So it's hard to pinpoint one guy. Trey Brown almost had an interception in the end zone against DK Metcalf. Just couldn't quite make the play, but made the perfect break on the ball. And DK was being the red zone beast that you hope he would be. He had already had a few touchdowns in the red zone session. And this was a time that Trey got the best of him and Gino. Otherwise, I mean, a couple other guys that kind of stood out. I liked what I saw from Kenneth Walker today. Granted, you're not seeing, you know, a lot of real running plays, but he just looks so strong and so ready for this season. A lot of really Kenneth Walker-like cuts today, back against the grain and to open field, and looks fast, looks ready. I'm kind of intrigued by Kobe Lewis. He's a number 44 running back. He's built like a Ravens running back from my perspective. Really strong, kind of like a V-shaped upper body, tight in terms of, like, he's not like wide, but he's dense, and he's like the kind of guy, I think, like Gus Richards? I'm missing his name, but the Ravens guy that scored all those touchdowns all those years. And it's just a guy that looks like he might be someone who could get downhill. So I'm going to keep an eye on him. Otherwise, other players today, Hayden Hatton, number 84, undrafted free agent, had 3 or 4 more catches today. That was good to see. Who else? Yeah, I mean, those are the main guys that kind of stood out to me. Tyrese Knight was getting plenty of runs. He got some run with the first string today, which was good to see. But, you know, I wouldn't read too much into that. What else? I think that's largely it, folks. Those are the quick hitters for today. I don't think it was the main takeaway from today's camp is defense has taken a step forward, and I will write up all the details in my camp notes later today once I get home. Gus Edwards, yes, thank you, folks in chat. And if you haven't already, give the show a like, click subscribe. Join as a Patreon member. Patreon.com/HawkBlogger gets you all the audio versions of the Hawk Blogger Morning podcast, and got you a Marquise Blair interview this morning that only Patreon members got access to. As soon as I posted it. If you are a YouTube member, especially a suite level YouTube member, you have access to a Derek Hall interview that I did today. Great conversation with Derek Hall. You can get access to that right now as a suite level member. For everyone else, that will unlock later today. So keep an eye on that. Good interview to watch later tonight. Otherwise, you can join as a suite level member right now and watch it right now. All right, everybody. I'm Brian Nemhauser, coming to you from the VMAC immediately after day 3 of training camp. I will see you all probably tomorrow morning for Hawk Blogger Mornings. And until then, have a great day, and be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you all.